I'll tell you something. In recession, these are the times of greatest opportunity and the greatest opportunity to develop.
When it goes down, we love it because we'll buy more. And if it goes up, it kills us to buy more.
That sounds a little crazy at first. But actually, a recession is kind of like Black Friday for investors. It's when assets go on sale, stocks, businesses, opportunities, everything gets cheaper. And the people who are prepared, they quietly buy while everyone else is selling. But here's the problem. Black Friday is easy. You see the price, you know it's the deal, and you know exactly when to buy. The market, you don't just get that certainty. When things start dropping, no one knows how far they will fall or when they will stop. And that's what makes it so hard. So what do you actually do in moments like this? Do you sell? Do you buy? If you buy, when? How do you actually benefit from a recession? And just as important, what are the mistakes you want to avoid? And that's exactly what we'll be breaking down in this video. If we haven't met before, my name's Ida. I reached financial freedom in my 30s, and now I'm here every week sharing what worked for me, so you can get there faster than I did. That said, everything I share in this video is based on my own experience, and everyone's situation is different, so this is not financial advice, just what worked for me. Make sure to evaluate based on your own risk tolerance and situation. So, when the market starts showing signs of a crash, one of the best things you can do is actually very simple. It's to stay invested through dollar cost averaging. It's one of the easiest ways for everyday investors to benefit from a downturn. So what does dollar cost averaging mean? It means that you invest a fixed amount of money on a regular basis, like weekly or monthly, no matter what the market is doing. For example, you invest $100 every month into an index fund. And if the market is high, your $100 buys fewer shares. If the market drops, that same $100 buys more shares. So over time, you're not trying to guess the perfect moment. You're just consistently buying through the ups and downs. Now, this sounds simple, but it's actually a very powerful strategy. And to help you really see the impact of dollar cost averaging in numbers, we'll compare 3 different investing strategies using a simplified example. And this is to illustrate the concept, not the real market scenario. In this first graph, the horizontal axis is time, month 1 to month 10. The vertical axis is the price of an index fund. It starts at $40 in month 1, then drops to $30 in month 2. And this is where the crash begins. Then it falls further and hits the bottom at $10 in month 4. After that, it starts to recover, back to $20 in month 5, then climbs to $30 in month 7, and in month 9, it recovers back to $40, and finally hits $50 in month 10. Now, notice something here. This pattern actually mirrors how real market crashes work. Markets often fall fast and recover slowly. For example, during the 2020 COVID crash, the S&P 500 dropped about 20% in 2 months, but it took 4 months to stabilize and then continued climbing to new all-time highs afterward. In the 2008 global financial crisis, the market fell about 50% from peak to bottom. But again, over the next 4 years, it recovered and broke past previous highs and kept growing. Same story with the dot-com crash in the early 2000s. A sharp drop followed by a long recovery and eventually new highs. So what does history tell us? 2 important things. First, market recovers. Not just recover, they usually go on to surpass their previous highs. And the reason is simple. Behind the market are real businesses. They grow, they innovate, they become more valuable over time. So even after major setbacks, the long-term direction has historically been up. Second, market drops are usually faster than market rises. Bad news spreads instantly. Fear spreads even faster. People panic and sell immediately. And it's not just panic selling, there's also forced selling. Margin calls, stop loss orders, all of these automatically trigger selling when prices fall. And all of this adds more pressure and can push prices down very quickly. But when markets go up, it's much slower. People don't rush back in. They're cautious. They wait. They hesitate. Because fear doesn't just disappear overnight. Now, let's go back to our example graph. And this is exactly why the example pattern looks the way it does. Fast drop, slow recovery, and then reach new highs. Now, suppose we use dollar cost averaging in investing. Let's say you invest $600 every month, no matter what. So in month 1, the price is $40. So your $600 buys 15 shares. In month 2, the price dropped to $30, but you still invest $600. Now you get 20 shares. And you keep going. Even as prices keep falling, you just keep buying. When prices start to recover, you're still investing. And over these 10 months, you've invested a total of $6,000, which is $600 per month times 10 months. And in return, you've accumulated 252 shares over these 10 months. And the average cost per share is about $23.80. And by the end of month 10, in this example, your return of investment would be 110%. That's the power of dollar cost averaging. You're not trying to time the bottom. You're simply buying more shares when prices are low. Before we move on to the next graph, if you're finding this helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It genuinely helps support the channel and allows me to keep making more videos like this for you. Now, let's look at a different scenario. What if you panic sell or stop investing when the market drops? In this second graph, the price movement is exactly the same as before, but the behavior is different. In month 1, you invest $600 at $40 per share. But then the market starts to fall and you stop investing. So from month 2 to 4, prices keep dropping to $10 and you stay on the sidelines. In month 5, the market starts to show signs of recovery, but you're cautious. You wait and you want to see if it will drop again. In month 6, the price is still around $20. It feels like more stable now. So you decide to get back in. You invest $600 and get 30 shares. In the last 3 months, as the market continues to recover, you keep investing $600 each month. In total, you invested $3,600 and your portfolio is now worth about $5,600. That's a return of around 56%, which is about half of what will you get using dollar cost averaging. Now notice what is happening in strategy 2. You're spending a lot more time watching the market. There's a lot of waiting, thinking, analyzing, and a lot of second guessing. And after all that, you feel like you made the right call. And the result, a lower return on investment. Why? Because you missed the most important window, the lowest prices. It was when the fear was the highest. That's when your money had the most power and each dollar could buy the most shares. But instead, you waited for things to feel safer. And by the time you came back in, prices were already higher, so your money bought less. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's because I didn't buy the dip. So what if you could time the market perfectly? What if you actually buy at the lowest point? Let's look at the third strategy. In this case, you skip investing when prices are at $30 and $20, but you jump right back in when the price was $10, the bottom. And from there, you keep investing every month as the market recovers. So over the course of these 10 months, you invest $4,800, get 202 shares, and your return on investment is 110% in this scenario, which is the same as using dollar cost averaging. But here's the reality. Timing the market like this is extremely hard. Most people only realize the bottom after it's already passed, because market bottoms are not clean. People imagine a simple V shape, down, then straight back up, but in reality, it's messy. Prices bounce, drop again, and it can create false signals. So while you're waiting for the perfect moment, your money is just sitting there, not invested, not growing, not compounding. And there's another reality. You're not just competing with yourself, you're competing with institutions, hedge funds, professional investors. They move fast, they rely on data, not emotions. So trying to perfectly time the bottom as an individual investor is like playing a reaction speed game against machines. Plus, think about the effort. You're constantly researching, watching the market, analyzing every move, but investing shouldn't feel like a full-time job. It shouldn't take over your life. The goal is to build wealth in the background so you can spend your time on things that actually matter to you. And after all of this time and effort that you put into the work, even if you do get lucky, even if you time it perfectly, you're likely to end up with a similar result as a simple strategy like dollar cost averaging. But dollar cost averaging, on the other hand, does the opposite. It frees up your mental space. No pressure to time the market, and you probably don't even need to know the market. And the good news is this. Over the long term, the US market has recovered from every major downturn and kept going to even reach higher levels. If you look at the US market over the past 100 years, despite wars, recessions, and crises, the overall trend has been up. So if you do believe in the long-term growth of the market, then focus on the big picture. You don't need to spend all of your time watching the market. Just stay invested. Keep it simple with dollar cost averaging, especially during downturns, because those moments are rare opportunities. Since 1945, economic cycles in the US have averaged about 5 years. And within each cycle, expansions last much longer than recessions. But those short recessions, that's when things go on sale. So pick index funds that fit your goals. Whether it's the S&P 500, international markets, emerging markets, or small cap funds, just stay consistent. And chances are, your future self will thank you. If you enjoyed this video, you might like this one as well. I'll see you there.